Adult passiveness, overthinking, and victimhood thinking, transforming into false self, struggle in letting anyone in, and constant unworthiness are just a few telltale signs of you being dissociated from your authentic being, your authentic self. Hi, I'm Arshia Seth, a consciousness wellness coach, a life empowerment coach, transformation coach, and an author and a living enthusiast on the planet who has uh, been a catalyst of change in so many lives, in thousands of lives, through the potent workshops and sessions that I facilitate, online as well as offline. Here, what I'm talking about is how come an adult becomes so dysfunctional despite being highly educated, highly, aspiring, and wanting to win the world. A lot of these telltale signs tell one that a dysfunctional adult has the root cause of being dysfunctional into an unhappy childhood. And these are the five signs, the telltale signs that I just said: victimhood thinking, transforming into the false self, where you actually put on layers and filters, thinking that if I behave in a certain way, I would be able to please others. Yes, people pleasing comes from there. And no matter what, how much effort you put, how much energy you put in pleasing people, you do not please them no matter what, even if you peel off your skin. Yes, although in turn you go on divorcing, peeling off the parts of your authentic self in pursuit of pleasing someone else. The result is they are still not pleased. Victimhood thinking: you feel the world is against you, nothing works in your favor, you are ill-fated, probably things are not working for you, you're astrologically not aligned or whatnot. These are few signs which actually become the perpetrator of things, of struggle in your life. You do not let anyone in. Yes, that's the next one. Struggle in letting anyone in your life. And so people have a lot of issues in regards to having to form relationships, or even if they have formed a relationship, having to keep up with that relationship. So, firstly, having a relationship itself is a struggle, and then having to cope up with that relationship is another one, because that is exactly where they also slip into coping mechanism, because they have this urge of proving themselves right, that they are good in relationships. So the adjustments, the compromises, and lot of those factors come into play. Although it is all working from the coping mechanism. You want to become something which you're not. Okay. And that's exactly where passiveness, adult passiveness, also comes into play. You feel dissociated, detached from those authentic emotions, including fear, anger, or any of those emotions that are so called negative emotions are actually not negative. Each of these emotions is required for a being, for a consciousness to grow, to be nurtured. So none of those emotions are actually wrong. They do serve a purpose in some or the other way. They help you see where you are being a limitation in your own life. Yes, because a happy being wouldn't choose to have fears unnecessarily, or wouldn't just have a go on someone, or would have a bout of angers just for no reason. Correct? Have you ever seen a child having unnecessarily unrequired fears and angers? No. All of these behaviors are actually implanted. They are kind of imposed, self imposed sometimes, or by the world, the society, the reality, at very early age. sometimes intrauterine as well. Most of these behaviors are taken from the adults, because adults are your role model. Your primary caretakers are your parents, mother being the primary caretaker and father being the secondary caretaker. So if as a child your needs are unmet, you have lived most of your childhood being unloved, not being loved, having your needs not met, you become a certain adult where you go on doing all of these things that I just mentioned. The constant unworthiness, that you're good for nothing. And so you have this urge, undying spirit, and need to prove yourself that you're worthy, that you can do this, that you can do that, which is all of a pseudo behavior. So when you are doing all of these things, the 5 points that I mentioned, constant unworthiness, victimhood thinking, uh, transforming into false self, uh, overwhelm or struggle in letting anyone in, or passive adulthood, you know that you are dissociated and detached from your authentic self. No child on the planet, the younger one, is ever born like that. Yes, but as an adult, as you go on growing in your life, all of these behaviors are either taken, adopted, adapted, or imposed and implanted on you. And the root cause is unhappy childhood. Being You 2.5 days weekend adventure is the class where I facilitate online as well as offline in this 2.5-day class to remove and peel off all of those layers of falsehood, of lies, of limitations, of certain definitions which is given by this society, all of those pseudo behaviors that you have taken on, which actually do not allow you to be your 100,000% authentic self. Have you ever noticed somebody who's very, very successful monetarily, financially, in every aspect of their living? They're successful, they are financially doing well, yet they are unhappy. They are unhappy from within. The joy that should be brimming from inside is missing. And people wonder, you have everything that a human life requires. You have success, you have everything that is required for a successful human life on the planet. And yet you are unhappy because these are the external factors. This external stimulus does not keep you happy for long. That brimming joy, which is actually coming from inside, has no apparent reason. And so you never need a reason to be happy. Have you noticed that? Yes, people, when they say, oh, you look so happy, what is the reason? Actually, one should be happy. The higher intelligence, which is human being, the human being is considered the higher intelligence. Well, if you ask me, I would say no, because we don't even have the capacity. We don't even use more than 2% of our mental capacity. Yep. The higher intelligence species would be, I would say, dolphins, elephants, a lot of other animal species. They use their intelligence in their favor. Humans, on the contrary, if they do not know how to use their intelligence in their favor, they use it against themselves. And these are some of the telltale signs where a dysfunctional adult shows up, and depression, anxiety, worry, stress, the so-called lifestyle disorders come along with it. So 2.5 days of being you, the weekend adventure, actually introduces you with the authentic you, which is lost somewhere, actually lying there but dormant, because so many layers and filters have taken over. And so the authentic self doesn't even know where it lies hidden. 2.5 days peel off all of those artificial layers, the filters, the responses of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Yes, these are certain responses that human takes up that human being takes up as a, you know, compensatory behavior, so that they can go on in this societal uh, setup. However, it doesn't impart happiness. So come join me in this 2.5-day adventure and discover, get in touch again with your authentic self, peeling off all the layers of lies, limitations, definitions, all of those, inauthenticities which have been layered one over the other. All right. Bye bye. I, Ashia Seth, Wellness Consciousness Coach, sign off. And for more details, you can log on to www.chispaarsh.com. Bye bye.